Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Moyna Bass Fishers. I am Jim Moyna, professional bass fisherman, question mark, because I've been challenged. Anyhow, this video is going to be about a comment from a contributor to the comment section from time to time. I consider him an asset, but sometimes he comes across rather harsh about some of the topics I do and about me as a professional fisherman. But it's okay. Like I said, he's an asset because some of the points he comes up with are legit points to ask and to point out. But at the same time, a little snarky at times. So anyways, but I just want to address this comment from his tag or his name, whatever. It's Judge Too Good. Judge Too Good, meaning Judge, T-O-O, good, 1033. And like I said, he's an asset to the comment section. He's an asset to he does get me to critically think about things at times. So even though he can be harsh, it's okay. All right, so here's his latest comment, and this is in response to my video on the it was my final recap video of the 2024 Champions Tour tournament on Lake Okoboji, which I just posted a few days ago and fished that tournament a few days ago. Finished 6th place in that tournament. All right, so his first question is there an, well, I'll just read his whole comment, or they're mostly questions. Is there an entry fee for the tour? Do they hand out trophies? Is this a loser tour? If you are a pro fisherman, why are you entering a minor tournament? All right, well, let's address this one by one. Okay, first, is there an entry fee for the tour? Yes, like any, like just about any league around, big and small, there's an entry fee. The entry fee for the Champions Tour for one event is $1,000. And let me just also say more that the Champions Tour pays back they pay back 100% of the entry fees. There aren't many circuits that can even say that. I mean, very few, very select few, and they may even be just there might be one-off tournaments. I don't know. They're in a league of their own. In that, I mean, they're in the upper echelons of paybacks. So, and the fishermen that compete there know that, and that's, in some cases, that's part of the reason why we're there. That's part of the reason why I'm there. I got to support that kind of a payback, because MLF doesn't do that. Bassmaster's not doing that. Other leagues, other local leagues in Minnesota that I know of aren't doing that. I mean, if you know some, throw them up there in the comments. Bring attention to them so fishermen will show up at those places. Because I'm all about knowing the best tournaments around. I'm all about that. So by all means, if you know of a great tournament, throw it up there in the comments section. Let's hear about it. His next question, do they hand out trophies? I don't know why this is even relevant. I think the winner got something, but after that, I have no idea. I got 6th place. I didn't get a trophy. I've gotten, in this circuit and other years, I've gotten seconds, thirds, fourths. I don't recall getting trophies in those positions. And actually, to me, the only trophy to have is 1st place anyways. So some of you might dispute this, but if you don't win, if I don't win, I don't really need a trophy. If I win, yeah, I would love to have a trophy of some kind. So that, to me, that's just a trivial question. I'm not sure what I'm not sure what point he's trying to get to with that one. Next question: is this a loser tour? Um, that's a wide open question. I'm not sure where that's coming from, where he's trying to go with it. Is it more directed at me? Meaning, is this where pro anglers go who are losers? Is this where they go to fish? Not sure where he's going with this, but no, it is not a loser tour. To me, it's the showcase event in our part of the country. It's a showcase tour in our part of the country. So that's my answer to that. I'm sure a lot of other fishermen would agree that it's the best thing going in Minnesota. So there. And then lastly, if you are a pro fisherman, why are you entering a minor tournament? Okay, let me address that. Well, first of all, it's the most major tour there is available in Minnesota. And by being the most major tour in Minnesota, it is drawing some excellent competition to compete in this tour. So that's, it's not on the standard of a Bassmaster or MLF, meaning it's not nationwide. It's a regional or more of a state kind of a tournament organization, and those exist all over the country. But why? But he wants to know, why am I entering this? I'm supposed to, if you're a pro fisherman, why am I entering this? Okay, well here's why I do it. But first of all, they're close to home. They're in Minnesota, where I live, and that's to me that's nice. It's close to home. I don't have to drive freaking from here to Alabama to compete. So that's a good thing. Next, I have friends that compete there. People that I've competed against for years. Guys like Brad Leiferman, Deke Capra, I've competed against them for years. I'm making new friends. Guys like Aaron Teal, who finished third. There's just other guys. There's just. If I don't name all, I probably never should have started naming names, because now somebody's going to feel left out. But I have old and new friends that fish there, and it's fun to see these guys and catch up with them, and then go out and try to whip up on them. Sometimes I do, and a lot of times I don't. So, and equal. Well, I'll get into this later. But so it's just, and the people that run it, some of the tournament staff, I've known those guys for a long time. Scott Bonema, he still does tournaments, and he's been in the Minnesota tournament scene forever. So he's, I've just known him forever and got a lot of respect for the guy. And he's not gonna, by the way, he's not gonna run a loser tournament. He ran a very successful business in his younger years, and set himself up quite well when he got out of the business. So by no means would I ever consider him a loser. Equally, the staff, top to bottom, you got a colonel from the Army who's part of the staff. You got younger guys that are avid bass anglers. They fish other bass tournaments, but here but in this circuit they staff it and help run it. The social media parts of it. Adam Bartusek, he's avid bass fisherman, loves the sport, and he also loves the covering it. So winner, right? He's great asset to this tour. Glenn Walker, another asset to the tour. It's Scott, the colonel that I mentioned, the retired Army colonel, great asset. He's got his own thing going on as well in his own world with fishing, and he's in this part of it. More winners. It's just winners running this thing, and that it's great to be a part of it, because they're going to run a event of integrity. It's going to be an event where you can just you feel like it's gonna go down in a class act type of a way, and so that's very important, as we've seen, because there are leagues that aren't run right. I mean, look at this thing out west. What was it? The Western? I don't know what was the name of it, but right now, Bridgeford, my sponsor, Bridgeford Foods, leading the litigation against this tournament leader who ran away with everybody's money. So that ain't gonna happen with the Champions Tour. They're not gonna freaking run away with everybody's money. I promise you that. Okay, 100% payouts. I kind of got into that already. That's one reason why. That's another reason why I'm there. I enjoy the format. That's another reason. We have boat marshals, and those are people that just observe in the boat. Their job is to, when I catch a fish, they weigh the fish on a scale provided by the Champions Tour, and all the scales are collaborated to weigh the same before they're ever sent out in anybody's boat. So the marshal weighs the fish that I catch, then we record it on an app and then also on a sheet of paper, and then the fish is released right where I caught it. So it's very conservation friendly. It's meaning that it's minimal. I mean, it's much less stress on a fish other than throwing them in a live well, holding them in there for several hours, and then bringing them to a weigh-in and weighing them in. That's way more stressful. So conservation-wise, it's a good format. But the reason, I really like the format. That is what I love about the Champions Tour, is the format, because it's enjoyable. I like the biggest five format as well, but this format has its own challenges and its own wrinkles of strategy. So you take those into consideration, and it's fun. It's a different type of tournament for sure. Both types of tournaments can exist. So this is good. To me, it's fun. It's a lot of fun to do it. Another reason why I do the Champions Tour is because it adds another layer of value to the sponsors that I represent. If I'm not out there fishing the Champions Tour, what am I doing? I'm probably sitting at home, just fishing out for fun. So if I'm going to be fishing, I might as well get involved in a tournament, get into a tournament where they actually have media coverage and put together shows. And these are all opportunities for me to, represent the sponsors I have and get them, get their representation just in front of more eyeballs in another avenue. So that's another reason why I do it. It's just more value for my sponsors. And in this day and age, it's very important to do whatever you can for your sponsors to keep those sponsors, because there's a lot of people that would love to have the sponsorships I have, but I got them, and I'm going to try to do everything I can to keep them, which means including fishing the Champions Tour, which I love to fish. Okay, other thing, the anglers in this tour and the staff are very openly welcoming to my presence and participation in these tournaments. Nobody's shunning me away. If somebody is shunning me away, they're doing it privately. They're not letting other people know about it. They're not letting me know about it. But it is billed as a tournament trail for the best anglers in the area, in the state of Minnesota. So any angler that signs up for it should know that they're going to be competing against the best anglers in the state, which might include myself, which has included Seth Feider in the past, has included Austin Felix in the past, it has included Matt Stefan from Wisconsin in the past, and so on. So it's, if you're signing up for it, you know what you're getting into, and you welcome the challenge. When I was a young angler, starting tournament fishing, starting money tournament fishing in Minnesota, I welcome the challenge of having to compete against Brad Leiferman, Dean Capra, Tony Capra, Mark Raveling. Those guys had Pat Martin, Bob Kuhn. Those guys had my number for quite a few years. Okay, but it was the motivation of their presence at the tournament. I mean, I've worked so hard to find patterns, find fish. I've worked so hard because I knew that's what it was going to take to beat these guys. And the tournament day would come, we'd go out, execute our pattern, execute our plans. We'd come in with a nice bag, and then we'd get killed by one of these guys. So I think anglers that are serious about it, they welcome good competition because they know that's what motivates them. It's like, dang, such and such person's here, man. I want to kick his ass. I know he's great. I respect the man, but let me get his number this time. That's the kind of mentality, and a lot of guys are very welcome. I mean, maybe not everybody. I don't know, but guys are very welcoming, and the staff are glad to see me too. So that's good. Good to know, because much of the year I'm fishing in different parts of the states and all this and that, and the tournaments are welcoming that I'm there as well, but it's just more special back home for some reason. But yeah, I do feel welcomed on MLF. I feel welcome on Bassmaster. I feel welcome. Like this year I'm doing the Bass Opens. Hank Weldham's shakes my hand and thanks that gives me a thank you for participating, and we usually have a short conversation. So he seems to be a great tournament director. So but it's just the uniqueness. It's just the feel of being at home, and in some cases, some of the fishermen I'm fishing against are I've been fishing against for a long time, and then some of the young guys are they're very welcoming of my presence, and they'll come up and say, "Yeah, Jim, it's great to see you," and it's great. It's been a fan, and been inspiration all these years, and it's good to see you here. So, and that's when I hear that kind of stuff, it's really special. And I thank all you guys for doing that. That's I know you don't have to do that, but you guys you do, and it suddenly makes like kind of the tough year that I'm having so far with my performance. It just kind of I don't know, puts things into perspective a little bit and resets my mind. Helps reset my mind in a positive sort of a way. All right. And finally, the last thing I got on my list here that I've written down is, it's another opportunity for me to gain more fishing experience. The best way to become a better tournament angler is by competing in tournaments. It's that simple. So by going to Lake Okoboji, which I'd never been to in my life until this past tournament, never been there, brand new. So I have the experience of a brand new lake, and discover whatever unique tendencies it has, and then I can discover, my own patterns, my own places to fish, and then when it comes tournament day, I can see how well my stuff holds up against other people's stuff. And that's all about experience, and you learn from those experiences. Okay, I finished 6th, so obviously there was better stuff out there to be found, better things to do than what I did, and I learned, put it in my memory bank, and move on. And maybe someday that what I learned there at Lake Okoboji will come into play somewhere else. And it's just all about, just fish, just tournament experience. If you're going to be tournament fishing, you got to book some tournaments to be better at it. It's as simple as that, really. I'm not saying you got to pack every weekend with one, but because you also can learn. It's also good to just take breaks and just experiment, just having fun and experiment with some things, because that's another way to learn. But but by, so you can learn by not fishing a tournament, but if you want to be good at fishing tournaments, entering them and competing in them is how you get better at competing in them, if that makes any sense. All right, so that is the end of this topic, the end of this video. Judge Too Good 1033. Please continue to contribute. I do appreciate the harsh comments, and sometimes you give me some nice comments too. So I hope I don't scare you away. Don't harass this guy if you think he's too harsh. So anyhow, a lot of ums. But thanks for watching, and that's that. Over.